Traffic enforcement in 2026 is changing much faster than most drivers even realize. If you've been on a highway recently, the unwritten rules you've driven by for years are being rewritten from the ground up. And unfortunately, the very first time most people actually find out about it is when a massive, surprise fine just shows up in their mailbox. Welcome to this explainer. Today we're breaking down the massive shift toward automated highway enforcement that's catching millions of us completely off guard.
Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever wondered what happens when the highway itself becomes the enforcer? We're looking at a brand new reality where you don't even see those flashing police lights in your rearview mirror. These automated technologies have been actively spreading from I-95 to practically every major road in the country this summer. It's a comprehensive, invisible network, and you absolutely need to understand how it operates before you get behind the wheel again.
Consider this explainer your survival guide roadmap to the automated highway. We're going to cover the highway testing ground, the rise of automated tickets, zero-tolerance phone laws, expanded move-over rules, point-to-point cameras, and finally, the compounding insurance aftermath. Let's get right into it.
All right, Section 1, the highway testing ground.
So, let's start with where all of this tech is actually being proven. Even if you never drive on it, Interstate 95 is the 1,926-mile spine of the eastern U.S., cutting through 15 states and D.C. Tragically, it's also one of the most dangerous, with over 1,100 fatalities in a recent 5-year window. Which brings us to this staggering number, 300,000. That is the estimated number of vehicles barreling down I-95 every single day. That sheer volume, combined with the real safety risks, is exactly why this corridor is the nation's primary testing ground. Whatever enforcement tech gets tested and proven on I-95, it immediately spreads to everywhere else.
Moving right along to Section 2, the rise of automated tickets.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the exact unforgiving math behind it. Just recently, Delaware activated a live speed camera in the Churchman's Marsh work zone on I-95. The warning period is totally over. It's all live fines now. If you're caught going 11 miles per hour or more above the 55 limit, you get an automatic civil violation. The base penalty is $20 plus an extra $1 for every single mile per hour over the limit plus court fees. So doing 66 in a 55, just 11 over, guarantees an automatic citation of at least $118. And the crazy part? That fine goes straight to the registered owner no matter who was actually driving the car.
If you want to see the sheer shock factor of this, look at what happened in just the first 72 hours of that camera going live. Over 10,000 vehicles were recorded speeding enough to trigger a fine. 10,000! 39 drivers were clocked doing over 100 miles per hour, and someone actually hit 139 in that 55 zone. These aren't just flukes. These are previously normalized driving habits that are now inescapable civil penalties. For some context here, a previous 2024 Delaware camera program logged over 400,000 violations and brought average speeds down by 10%. That is incredibly effective, and it's exactly why it's expanding across multiple states right now.
Which brings us to Section 3, zero-tolerance phone laws.
So this next shift doesn't even need an automated camera, just strict new legislation. Pennsylvania's Paul Miller law just took effect, joining 27 other states in a really aggressive zero-tolerance approach to distracted driving. You have to understand this critical legal term, primary offense. It means a cop doesn't need another reason, like a broken taillight or drifting out of your lane, to pull you over. If they literally just see a phone in your hand, that is enough. And here's the kicker. This applies even if you're completely stopped. Sitting at a red light in Philadelphia and checking a text is now a ticketable stop. And the fines? Steep, like $200 and 5 points in New York, or up to $400 in New Jersey.
All right, on to Section 4, expanded move-over rules.
Now, this next rule catches a massive amount of drivers completely off guard because, well, we falsely assume we already know how it works. And this brilliantly illustrates how the laws are evolving. The old rule, which most of us learned in driver's ed, required you to move over only for police cars and ambulances. But the new rule, which is expanding across states like Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, and Minnesota, is totally different. Now, literally any vehicle on the shoulder with blinking hazard lights, a broken-down family car, a delivery truck, a tow truck, triggers a strict legal obligation to move over.
And listen, just casually tapping your brakes as you drive by is not enough anymore. If you can't safely change lanes, you have to drop your speed by specific numbers. Typically, you're required to slow down to 20 miles per hour below the posted limit, so doing 25 in a 45 zone. If you fail to strictly comply with that speed drop, you're facing a $150 to $500 fine for your first offense. And if your failure to slow down results in an injury, you are looking at a mandatory license suspension. No joke.
Let's hit Section 5, point-to-point cameras. Say hello to the absolute newest invisible cop on the road. This completely eliminates the oldest strategy that speeders have relied on for decades. Slamming on the brakes when you spot a camera and then speeding right back up. It's called average speed enforcement. It doesn't care how fast you're going at one specific spot. Instead, it calculates your average speed across an entire designated segment of highway using entry and exit cameras. This inescapable tracking method is already live in Virginia and is currently piloting in New York, New Jersey, and Maryland.
Let's move to how this builds a case against you. Step 1, your license plate is scanned the very second you enter the zone. Step 2, your plate gets scanned again at the exit point, which could be miles down the road. Step 3, the system perfectly calculates your average speed over that distance. And Step 4, if your average exceeds the limit, an automatic fine is generated. There is literally no camera in the middle to slow down for. You simply cannot game a camera system you cannot see.
Finally, Section 6, the insurance aftermath. So the crucial point here is that the true cost to the automated highway isn't just what happens at the roadside, it's the long-tail, compounding financial fallout that hits your wallet months later. A single automated citation, just one civil camera ticket, can trigger a 15 to 30% hike in your car insurance premium. And the absolute worst part? That massive increase persists for 3 grueling years.
To put that into perspective, let's run the numbers. If you rack up just 3 of these previously routine violations in a 12-month period, say a camera speeding ticket, a handheld phone violation, and a move-over failure, that translates to an annual premium increase of $400 to $800. Compounding that over 3 years, you're literally talking about losing thousands of dollars. Driving behaviors that might have previously earned a quick roadside warning are now completely financially devastating.
And the automation extends right to your paperwork, too. States like New York now require real-time electronic insurance verification. They monitor your insurance status automatically, tied directly to state databases. That means a single one-day lapse in coverage, maybe from a failed auto renewal, is instantly flagged. You don't even need to be pulled over. It gets flagged automatically during a random camera read, turning a one-day missed payment into a multi-year surcharge.
Which leaves us with the most important question you need to ask yourself today. Are your old driving habits truly ready to survive the automated highway? Because the system doesn't stop to pull you over anymore. It doesn't want to hear your excuse or give you a verbal warning. In 2026, it simply records you, identifies you, and bills you, sometimes before you've even made it home to your driveway. Definitely keep this knowledge front of mind. Stay alert and share this information before a surprise hits someone's mailbox. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and drive safely out there.